So today I wanted to go over to a comparison of the two ways that I make my mint tea. Now I cut my mint tea fresh from the garden almost daily because I love the taste of fresh mint tea. So I wanted to show you how I normally make it, which is I use this little diffuser here. It's a nice little machine that I bought, not machine but pot that I bought, and it was maybe $15. And it works on the simple principle of putting boiling water in here with your leaves in here, and it just diffuses into the tea, into the water basically. And I'm going to show you how that works right now, and then we're going to compare it to this new thing that I use with my Keurig tea maker or coffee maker. My wife uses it for coffee, but I use it for tea. And I bought this new ekobrew tea maker. Okay, I'm going to use it with the loose leaf, and then I'm going to compare it. Okay, so this is how I normally make my tea. I get my trusty tea kettle, and I fill it up to make everything even. I'm going to fill it up with 16 ounces because that's how much I'm going to make for in the Keurig also. So 16 ounces of water, and this is filtered water here. And then we're going to bring this to a boil. Now I'm going to time it because I haven't been timing it, the boiling process, just to do a time comparison of how long it takes for the water to boil. So I'm going to place this on high. Okay, so after 4 minutes, it's done. And I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, so what I've done here is I've already taken some of the tea leaves and put them in here, and I put sugar to taste. I put 2 spoonfuls of sugar in here, and I go ahead and I'm gonna put it in my diffuser here, and then I'm gonna take and put the boiling water in there carefully. And like I said, this is 16 ounces. This container holds 24, but to keep everything equal, I'm just going to go ahead and make. Now, like I said, it took about 4 minutes for the water to come to a boil. And now that it's boiling, I'm going to go ahead and let that sit. And it takes about 20 minutes for everything to happen. Okay, so now we're going to compare this. So once again, it was 4 minutes for the water to boil and 20 minutes for it to set and seep, and it's going to change color. It's going to be a nice kind of yellowish brownish color, and that's about after about 20 minutes. So we're going to try on the Keurig and see what happens, what the difference is. Okay, now this time I'm going to use the ekobrew and do the same thing. So what I do is I'll take these leaves here and I'll break them off, put them at the bottom here. Now this is the first time I'm doing this, so I really don't know how many leaves I'm going to need or how it's going to work, but we'll see. And of course this thing doesn't want to stay up for me. Now if it does a great job with this tea, it's going to do a phenomenal job with my lemon balm, because you know it will be great too. Now I'm going to pack it in there a little bit. Now to keep everything the same, I'm going to do the same thing with the sugar. I'm going to go ahead and get some sugar in here. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I got the tea in there, and I've got, I don't know if it'll show up here, but I've got the tea leaves in there. I've got the sugar in there, and I did 2 spoonfuls again, and we'll see how this works out. Now what I like about this the ekobrew is that it has this little gasket here, so there shouldn't be any water spilling out or anything like that. We're going to go ahead and pop it in there. It fits right in there, nothing to change, nothing to take out or anything like that. We're going to go ahead and put the 8 ounces. Now remember, I did 16 ounces, so I'm going to put 8 ounces in here and see how strong it is, and then put another 8 ounces in a different cup and then, you know, put that through it to see what happens. Okay, so we're going to fill this up with 8 ounces of water. Now the way the this Keurig works is that you have to turn it on first before doing all that, and I failed to do that, so I've got to go through the motions here so that it knows what I'm doing. It's got a drain, and then it's ready to brew. Compared to making it my old way, of course, this is a lot faster because it only takes a minute to heat up the water, and then it takes another minute to brew through. So we'll see what happens. The color is pretty much yellow. It's kind of how it would come out if I let it brew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another 8 ounces through here and try again. Okay. So now we're going to see what comes out. Now as you can see, this really comes out on the video here. As you can see, the yellowing is a lot weaker here. We're going to compare this yellowing to the yellowing of the original that I use on my other brew. But let's first see what's left from the Keurig. So it's pretty hot, but not the plastic, so the plastic's okay. Let's go ahead and open it and see what we have. And there are the tea leaves. The sugar is pretty much melted through, so hopefully we've gotten the flavor all through here. Okay, let's go compare what we have. So as you can see here, the glass on the left here is on my my diffuser, which is still kind of seeping here. And what's great about the diffuser is I can just kind of lift and kind of dip it in there and make sure that everything's moving through really well. The sugar is melted through here. So as you can see, I have the same thing. I have just the tea leaves left, and I'm just keeping it covered so that it could seep pretty well. One advantage to the original way that I did it is, as you can see, the color is a lot stronger. The longer you leave it there, of course, the stronger it gets. Not so with the Keurig, because with the Keurig, it's a one shot. That's it, you know. Although I did it in 16 ounces, we're going to try the taste test and see how it comes out. Okay? So let me go ahead and pour my my infuser here. Now I found that it's easier to pour if I just go ahead and take this whole mechanism out. And for those of you who have this, to keep the drippage down, I just kind of use the top to help me out here. And I'm going to go ahead and pour. Give it a little air here. That's beautiful looking. So once again, on this side is the original way I make the tea, and over here is the Keurig. So we're going to try a little taste test here. First, the Keurig. I can taste the mint, I can taste the sugar. Everything is equally distributed. My original way, which I know tastes good, but let's see how much different. Well, you know what? I'd have to say that this one came out a lot sweeter than this one. And one advantage is it's not as hot. I can drink it almost right away. It's a little warm, but it's not as hot. Whereas this one maintains its heat. I've got to figure out what's going on there. Probably because it's covered, and it's not. This one is completely boiled water. This one, I think it's just heated to a certain temperature and then distributed onto your tea leaves. So this one is completely burning, almost scalding hot. I needed to sit a few minutes more. But because it's so hot, it's kind of hard to determine how it tastes. But I do feel immediately can enjoy this one more. So when a definite advantage of the Keurig is that I can enjoy my tea with prep and all within 5 minutes, whereas here I have to wait for half an hour or more to have my tea. So I think the advantage is going to be with the Keurig for now. I was able to let me show you one more thing. Now that's the size of the receptacles I use. Now as you can see, the size of the receptacle I use for my original way with the infuser here is almost twice the size of the ekobrew, which means that for the amount of sugar and tea leaves that I use, which were exactly the same, 5 nicely sized leaves and 2 scoops of sugar, since it's more compact, perhaps that's what's keeping the amount of water per. It could be a whole bunch of things, but this was definitely a big difference here. The size of the metal grate that I use here and this one. So once again, I think I'm really going to give the Keurig more of a chance, and I can make my tea much faster. I can't wait to try it with my lemon balm and see what happens there. So once again, thank you very much for your time, and go ahead and get yourself a Keurig if you don't already have one, and get yourself one of these. Oh, by the way, this cost me $10 at my local big box store. This entire setup here cost me about $20, $15 or $20. I really can't remember, but it was about that much. So it's lasted pretty long. It's kind of easy to clean. This obviously is easy to clean, and then since it's mostly water and sugar, of course I have to pass some water through this and through the Keurig just to clean it up, and it's really nice. So thank you very much.